Hi, it's Emily McDaniel here, a co-founder of the LLC Expert, with a video on LLC registration and where you need to go to get the information you need if you want to form an LLC yourself. It's really important when you go through this process that you get the right information and a complete set of information, because LLC formation is very important to making sure that you get the proper liability protection and other benefits of an LLC. So there really are three places to go when you start this process. The first and most important place is to find the state agency website of the agency that actually processes LLC formations in your state. Most of the time the name of the agency is called the Secretary of State in most states. Some other ones use different terminology such as Corporation Commission, and others might even have a real particular name. But the best way to find it is to run a Google search on your state plus the word corporations. The same agency that processes corporations is the same one that will process LLC formations. Once you get on their state website, look for the specific sections that deal with forming limited liability companies in their state. Hopefully, many states have very good information that will walk you through the process, and others just ask you to download a bunch of forms and documents. Look at all the information you have there, take it in, and download and actually print out all the forms, fee schedules, and documents that are relevant to that process. There you'll find most of the information you need to know for submitting and preparing an LLC registration document with them. The second place you need to look is you need to review the formation legal provisions of your state's Limited Liability Company Act. Now, this might sound a little bit overwhelming, but I think it is really important that you look at the specific legal provisions that govern what you need to do properly, and it's not that hard to do. The first thing you need to do is find your state's Limited Liability Company Act. They're all available on the internet. Just Google search on your state plus Limited Liability Company Act, and you should find a statute and a table of contents. And when you look at the table of contents, focus on primarily any provisions dealing with formation and organization. You might see a specific provision entitled Articles of Organization, which is the document you file to Form 1, so that will list and outline what is required for that preparation. An LLC name choice is very important, and usually there will be a provision in the statute that talks about what you can and can't have in your LLC name. And then finally, every LLC requires a registered agent in the state, and each state differs somewhat in what rules and requirements are required for a registered agent. So find that provision as well and review it. And once you go to those two places, the third place to go is to actually call your state agency. This step will help you eliminate 95% of the reasons why LLC filings are rejected, delayed, or have problems in the process. When you call them, just ask them what you need to prepare an LLC registration. Leave it open-ended and let them give you their general spiel on what they tell the public when people ask this question. And then after they give you their requirements and processes, pay attention and listen for specific filing instructions, and ask about timing and how long it would take in the process. Ask them about expedited processing if you need to get your LLC formed more quickly than what their regular processing time is. And when you have them on the phone, it's also a good idea to check your LLC name for availability. LLC names that are not available and put on filings are one of the biggest reasons for rejections. So it's good to just get a preliminary clearance up front before you submit your documents. And finally, a good tip is to always ask your state what are the number one or the most popular reasons why filings are rejected in that particular state. A lot of states have intricacies and peculiarities and other types of processes that you won't find in the documents or even in the statute. So when you find out what causes the problems for most people that do self-filings, you will be able to avoid them when you're preparing yours. Once you have completed those three steps, you should now have access to all the information you need to actually prepare your formation documents properly and submit them to the state. You should plan about 3 to 5 hours to go through this process from beginning to end, and make sure you spend the right amount of time determining what exactly is legally required to be disclosed on your formation documents. It's a good idea not to disclose anything but what is actually absolutely necessarily required, because these documents will be a matter of public record. I do want to reiterate that a proper LLC formation is very important to making sure you get the liability protection of an LLC as well as the other advantages. So make sure you do it right, spend the right amount of time going through it, and make sure that you know absolutely what the requirements are and the processes are when you're going through the process. If you do want to save time and gain peace of mind, consider an LLC formation service like the one we offer at the LLC Expert. You can reduce your time to get this done to only about 5 minutes after you purchase. We only require 5 minutes to fill out a factual questionnaire, and we handle all the requirements, processes, and administration from that point until your LLC is formed. You also get peace of mind. Every LLC formation and liability protection package we offer is backed by a compliance guarantee, a guarantee that your formation will be performed in compliance with your state's LLC requirements. If you want to get information, just visit our site at www.thellcexpert.com. Even if you are going to do it yourself, I invite you to come over to our site where you can get a free LLC name search or a free guide on what is an LLC, so you can learn more about the specific benefits that this entity gives to a small business owner. We have an in-depth LLC Learning Center on our site as well, with many reports and articles, as well as an LLC Answers Wiki where you can submit questions and have them answered by myself or other experts in LLC matters. And finally, we have a growing video FAQ library as well with more information. So best of luck, and thank you.